Good morning, Taft High School. My name is Gianni Reyes.
And I'm Toreador. We're your co-hosts for today's episode of Toreador News. Let's get started with the announcements for this week.
This week is election week. Check out who your candidates for office are on the Taft website and on Instagram. Elections will be done online via Election Buddy. Look for a link sent to your MyMail to vote via Election Buddy.
Each student can vote for their own class officers and the ASB Executive Board. Ballots are now open and close this Wednesday, May 22nd by 8 p.m. Good luck, Toreadors!
If you apply to be a commissioner, please sign up for an interview with the newly elected executive board next week. See Mrs. Walkov email with the link to sign up for an interview time.
Hi everyone, the end of the year is around the corner and we want to make sure that all of you know what summer programs we're offering this year. There are 3 types of summer programs this year. The first one is LAUSD Summer School, which is our regular summer school. The second one is LAUSD Summer Enrichment Program. And the third one is taking classes through the Los Angeles Community College District. Taft Summer School this year will be held at Woodland Hills Academy due to construction. The dates are June 20th to July 19th, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. There will be no school on July 4th or July 5th due to the holiday. Please note that lunch will be provided daily. Taft Summer School is for all grade levels 9 through 12 and is for credit recovery only, meaning you need to remediate a D or an F grade. Periods 1 and Period 2 will be in-person courses, and Periods 3 and 4 will be virtual asynchronous courses. Again, summer school will be Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Period 1 starts at 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Period 2 is 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch will be provided between Period 1 and 2. Period 3 and 4 are asynchronous and are through Edgenuity. If you need credit recovery, your counselor will enroll you in summer school Periods 1 and 2. PE and Intro to Art will be offered in person this summer during Periods 1 and 2. These courses are offered to students as first-time credit. If you are interested, you must complete the Google form as space is limited. Rising juniors, you will be enrolled in PE next year if you have not fulfilled the 2 years of PE before senior year. If additional credit recovery classes are needed, students may enroll in Periods 3 and 4 Edgenuity courses. Please be aware that these courses are not NCAA approved and they are taught by an Imagine Learning teacher, not an LAUSD teacher. Students in Periods 3 and 4 Edgenuity cannot also be enrolled in any summer enrichment course.
Another option you have is the LAUSD Summer Enrichment Program. It's available to all high school students. You're only allowed one course. Credit, non-credit course options. You must register through the parent portal by May 24th. Space is limited. To see the course list, go to enrichment.lausd.net. In order to take any community college classes, you must create an account. A QR code is provided for you. After you have scanned the QR code, you must apply to a specific college. After that, you will receive a 900 number. After you receive your student ID number, you need to fill out the electronic dynamic form or the K-12 hard copy form to register for classes. Obtain counselor approval via email for the dynamic form or signature on the K-12 form. K-12 forms are available in B102.
There are 2 ways to take college courses. Taft will approve the following courses for high school credit: Health 11 to meet the health requirement, Chicano Studies 7, Chicano Studies 8, or Afro-American Studies 4 will meet the ethnic studies requirement for class of 2027, and any world language to meet the LOT requirement. The second option was through Regions North partnership with LACCD. If you were interested and you had to pre-register by May 10th, accepted students will be contacted directly by the specific college with enrollment procedures. You cannot enroll in Session B courses because the dates conflict with Taft's fall semester start date of August 12th.
High school credit. LAUSD will accept high school credit only from Los Angeles community colleges for pre-approved courses. Check with your counselor on pre-approved courses prior to enrollment. Do not enroll in any other institutions as LAUSD will not accept credit for the courses taken. Contact your counselor for any questions. Ms. Pasman, letters A through GAMBOA. Ms. Feinberg, letters GAMBON through MEN. Ms. LaBelle, letters MER through TRE. Ms. Naiman, letters TSE through Z. Bridge and IAT. Ms. Torres, Magnet.
This week, starting Thursday until May 31st, the class of 2027 will be selling Hags bags by T-Building. Hags, which stands for Have a Great Summer bags, are grams filled with treats that you can buy for your friends and teachers to wish them a great summer vacation. Each bag is $1 and they will be delivered for you.
This Friday is the Spring Choral Concert at Woodland Hills Academy from 7 to 9 p.m. Buy tickets to attend and cheer on your classmates and support Taft's music department.
Taft Aerospace Club meetings have started again. Come join us in room E239, Miss Kwan, on Fridays. More info can be found on @Taft Aerospace Club on Instagram.
This month, we want to highlight all the great colleges that our students and teachers have attended or will attend. If you're an underclassman starting to think about what college you want to attend, or a senior who is still undeclared, here's Ms. Evans to talk about the college they attended. Maybe you'll feel inspired to go.
Good morning, Taft. My name is Talia Gopian, and I'm here with
Miss Evans.
So, Miss Evans, where did you attend college?
I attended University of St. Andrews.
And where is that?
It's in Scotland.
So
So yeah, it's famous because Prince William and Kate Middleton went there. So that's what most people know for. Yeah.
awesome. So, was this college your first choice?
No. I wanted to go to like Bowdoin College, which is like a private liberal arts in Maine. But yeah, I applied early decision, and then when I didn't get in, I was really angry because I was kind of like, I'd done all the things. I was like the top student and stuff like that. So then I was like mad at America, so I decided to leave the country. But yeah, I'm a dual citizen, and so yeah.
So, what was it like being out of the country then for college?
It was really fun. I loved it. I got to travel a lot. Like on spring breaks, I would go to like Italy and Tunisia and Istanbul, and I made like loads of friends from all over the world. And the culture there is really different in that like you have less class and it's more independent work because the British system is really different. So that was really nice, and you don't have general ed requirements. You just start taking exactly what you want to study, which is really cool. So that was really nice, and yeah, I had a lot of fun there. I learned a lot.
That's awesome. Well, so what was your major?
I studied English and modern history with a minor in film.
And so, why did you choose this college?
Well, yeah, I did a creative writing summer camp there when I was in high school. And it's just so beautiful. It's like a 3-street fishing village, like right on the ocean. And it's like, was created in the 1400s, so it's like 600 years old, like, and it's really just a beautiful place. But then, yeah, also it's like has good academics, and just, I really wanted to meet people from like all parts of the world and just, yeah, get to explore, so. Yeah.
Would you recommend this college to your students?
Yes, 100%. It was like, it's quite different than like a traditional American experience, but like, yeah, it was just like, yeah, really great. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
So
then, there you have it. Thank you so much, Miss Evans.
yeah, thank you.
Are you interested in joining the Taft cheer team for the 24 to 25 school year? If so, come to the Taft cheer clinics on May 29th, 30th, and the final evaluations on May 31st.
Attendance for all 3 days are mandatory in order to be considered for the team.
Fill out the Google form at bit.ly/Taft cheer interest form 25 or scan the QR codes around campus.
You will need 2 teacher recommendation forms before tryouts.
Attire for tryouts will be a white t-shirt, black shorts, hair in a high pony, and absolutely no nails or jewelry is allowed.
If you have any questions, feel free to contact Coach Dante at dante.carlson@lausd.net.
Be sure to follow our Instagram at Taft Cheerleading for any updates.
We hope to see you May 29th.
Here are some reminders. Who do you think is Taft's biggest rival? Do you think it's El Camino, Chatsworth, Birmingham? Scan the following QR code to participate in a poll that will be used for a Taft Tribune article. Deadline is May 30th.
Attention, Taft High School students. The Taft dance team is holding auditions for the 2024 to 2025 school year.
Nourish to flourish. Most of us have positive mental health, yet about 49% of youth will struggle with mental health at some point in their lives. Taft Psych Squad invites you to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month to nourish your mind. Come join us for a themed weekly activities during lunch on the service road. Make your mental health a priority. Win gift cards, get educated, and promote positive mental health.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Riley,
And I'm Mr. G.
and today we're going to talk to you guys about study skills.
Studying.
We love that.
Mm-hmm.
So first, let's talk about procrastination. We know what procrastination is, right? It's the act of delaying and postponing something. And why do we do it? I mean, do we really enjoy doing some of the things that we do? Maybe even being impulsive, struggling to stay focused on this topic, a delay, thinking about how long it's going to take us to do it, and even low self-sufficiency. So a person's belief or expectation that they're even capable of doing the things that they're supposed to be doing.
So then how do we create a routine that we're able to use these studying skills, right? So the first step is we wake up at the same time every day for school and we make time for breakfast. I know that for a lot of us, that's a hard thing to do, but we need to be able to be ready for school and just to take on the day. So step 2 is know your final schedule, right? Know what day, what class you're going to, what final you're taking. That way you know what to also study for. Step 3 would be set up study times into your schedule, right? We all have a lot of time in our day and we spend a majority of it on our phones. So just taking 30 minutes to 1 hour to study, I think would be really great for you. And then get a good night's sleep. I know, again, I'm bringing the phone part in here, but if you can spend so much time on your phone, you can set some time, to start sleeping early.
And then also creating a study space, choosing a specific study space that works for you. A lot of the times we don't recommend doing the study space in your bed because when we're in the bed, we definitely want to take a nap. So whether it's at the kitchen table at a certain time or even going to the library, going to Starbucks, that works. Just making sure you have that designated study space. And also making sure you have everything that you need for your study space. You need those highlighters, those multiple pens, those multiple pencils, your laptop, your journals, just making sure you have everything that you need. And then eliminating distractions. It's really hard for us to put our phones down, but that's the point of that do not disturb in that focus mode, right? You want to put those things away just so that we can maintain focus. And then even having like a desk lamp. I know sometimes that works for some people where you have like a small desk lamp. You turn on when you study, you keep it on for the 30 minutes, and then you turn it off when you're trying to take a break. So you choose, but creating that designated study space is really beneficial here.
And also just another thing, if you have your laptop open, that doesn't mean that on one tab you should have Netflix or Instagram or anything open on it. You're clearly trying to study, and then that's why those 30 minutes of study breaks are really crucial. So study smarter, not harder. So a solid 30 minutes of studying can do a lot of great things for you, right? You can also do a 30-minute break between every 2 hours. Every night a week before the test, you want to be able to study at least for what you feel like you're really struggling with, right? Each day start with something new, and each study session with reviewing what you did the following day. So it's kind of just making sure that you're retaining all the information while you're also reading through new information. Read through your notes, color code and highlight the things that you feel are going to be really important on your exams. Make practice tests or flashcards. You really want to test yourself, whether that's on your notes app or like actual physical flashcards. Ask questions to teachers or friends that you feel like, hey, I'm just not understanding this concept or this material. Can you just kind of cover it before the exams? And share what you learned with family members or friends. That way they can also help you practice. But most importantly, you want to get a good night's sleep.
So once again, study smarter, not harder. Start studying now, friends. I know it's easy for us to be like, oh, I can do it tomorrow. I can do it next week. Why do it then when you can do it now? You're not going to stress yourself out because you're already starting early, right? Also making sure that we take thorough notes in class. If there's things that you're not understanding and you're missing, you want to make sure that you're reaching over to the person next to you or even the teacher just so that you can get a clear understanding on what it is. At the end of the day, using 20 to 30 minutes to study over everything that you learned throughout the day, it is beneficial, right? Making sure that we're asking the teachers any questions so that we can get that clarity. Also, if you're not understanding what's going on in the class sometimes, YouTube and the internet is going to be our best friend, right? You need help with a math problem you're not understanding, you can go ahead and do that. You can also use Tutor.com, if there's something that you're not understanding.
It's on Schoology.
Exactly, you can go ahead and do that. Making sure that you also create flashcards as you study for heavy memorization. So sometimes the flashcard method works for people in just going ahead and doing that. If not, you can also have like a study guide if the teacher gives you one, or you creating your own study guide, right?
Exactly.
And it's way better if you study a little bit every day versus it doing all at one time. You're going to really remember the material, grasp it, and be able to use it in the long run versus you trying to hurry up and study the night before. Boom, you do the test and then you forget everything. So just make sure that you're stretching out that studying. You're more likely to retain that information.
So the next would be finding motivation, and I know a lot of us, especially even myself, or I don't know, a lot of us really just struggle with motivation, right? Motivation to do things, especially when it comes to studying or even schoolwork. But placing those reminders for yourself, thinking about like, hey, like this is very short term, right? Especially for you ninth graders, you only have 3 more years after this. You got this, you can do it. But for the seniors, you're almost out. So everything has a timeline, and I think that just using that as motivation of like we're almost done, and also summer's coming up. Think about that. Think about not having to go to summer school if you do so well on your finals. But just finding that space to really just motivate yourself. Think about your GPA. Think about things that you want to do after school, and then how can you accomplish those things. So if you can, and also if you can find motivation to use social media to go out with friends, and it's not, you can find motivation to at least 30 minutes to 1 hour of studying per day.
All right. So I really recommend you guys try it. Try at least one or the two of the strategies that we recommend and find one of the things that motivates you academically. So, what works best for you? I would say for me, I would like to enjoy things. I would like to do activities with my friends afterwards, right? So, my mindset is if I hurry up and do it, and if I spread it out, I won't be stressed out the day before it's due. And that way I can go ahead and do it. And then I'm done. I can go hang out with my friends.
Exactly. I think one of my strategies is that I like to do things right after school. That way, the rest of my evening, I can dedicate it to hanging out with friends or going out or just being on social media.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
So summer self-care, take care of yourself, right? Summer's coming up, and summer can be really hard for a lot of us, especially those who are coming to summer school or those who just don't find anything that's motivating them to, want to continue doing like their hobbies or just taking care of yourself. So you have to find something that, really makes you feel like, hey, I'm really taking care of my mental health and myself. I think something that I like to do is like to listen to music and go to the movies. I think that's like the perfect self-care for me. What about you?
Self-care, I would say movies.
Mhm.
I also like to clean, and something about being in a clean
Therapeutic.
place. Yes, by myself, with my music, with my dogs. I also like to take walks. I like to be outside in nature.
Get
It's
that
going to
sun.
be warm, but we like to be outside somewhere next to water too. So just making sure that you guys are pouring back into yourselves, especially during the summer. I know it's really easy for us to get distracted because we
Mhm.
don't have that constant thing of going to school every day, which is okay. That's why we need to make sure that we're pouring back into ourselves before, so that when the summer comes, we're already ready for it, right?
That part.
And summer can be hard. Summer break can be fun, but for other people, it's really difficult as sometimes they feel like depressed, and sometimes that depression increases while in the summer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, others may have trips planned, exciting outings, but it really just depends. So, we want to make sure that we are keeping ourselves occupied and we have those resources and those people that are next to us that can support us during the summer, okay?
Hmm. So I guess like some warning signs, especially when you're like losing motivation or you feel like, hey, summer's here, but I just don't feel really good about certain things about my life, right? Some of the warning signs can be conflict with others, right? You find yourself fighting with others more than you would think that you should be doing, or you make threats or comments about like hurting yourselves or killing yourselves. I know that's a really hard one, and trigger warning. I should have said that before, but I feel like when some of these warning signs are a little intense, but when you find yourself making, even if it's a joke, right? You're joking like, oh, I just want to kill myself. Like, is there something going on that maybe other people are not knowing about or you don't feel comfortable sharing? Social withdrawal, especially during the summer, right? You feel like that should be the perfect time to be out with friends and having fun, but you feel like you're just pulling away because you feel either like hopeless or you're feeling like, hey, I just don't feel really good about myself. I think it's important to reach out. Another type of warning signs can be like dramatic mood swings, right? You're feeling like one day you're just so happy, the next moment you're sad. mad, or you're getting aggressive, or you're getting upset.
Yeah.
Lots of mood swings. And then again, just rerouting it back to like you're either talking or writing or thinking about death. We all have intrusive thoughts. It's just sometimes we need extra support for some of them. Or like if you find yourself having impulsive or reckless behaviors or aggressive behaviors, or you're increasing your use of certain substances like drinking or drug use. And I know nobody wants to talk about that, but in this day and age, it's a little alarming.
And then since we've talked about the signs, making sure that you guys are asking for help, right? It's really difficult to reach out and ask for help, especially when we're in those moods.
Mm-hmm.
So just making sure that you have, that circle around you, those people to support you along the way, and just checking in with them. Like, hey, I just need to talk. I need somebody to listen to me. That it will be beneficial in combating that depression, especially during the summer. So, as you see, 50 ways to take a break. There's a number of things to do. Not all the time do we think self-care means money.
Yeah, I wish.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Okay, but it doesn't always mean that, friends. It does not. So please make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. It's really, really, really beneficial. And these are just a few ways that you can do so.
Even just a walk outside, we all need some of that sun because, our vitamin D kind of depletes at times. And like we're always indoors, especially when you're in school. Most of the time you're in class. So, we need to be able to get that sun. So a few more tips for this break. Be careful of those negative thoughts. Do things you enjoy over the break. Create an activity to look forward to. Comparing yourself to others is not helpful. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
And when you start to have self-doubt, like again, I think kindness starts with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Know that everyone's journey is different. Your journey's not gonna be the same as other people's. And look for help when you really feel like you're struggling with negative thoughts. I think we all deal with them. It's just knowing when to ask for help.
And helping others helps you, right? So what are 3 things that you're grateful for right now? And just taking the time to think about that and reflect. It's that feeling of gratitude that's really beneficial, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can each of us be helpful and compassionate towards one another? So being kind towards other people also helps us, right? People are going to be willing to pour back into us. So you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
So you just stopping, checking in with them, seeing how they're doing, or even just saying, I hope you have a good day today, could really go far.
Exactly. So these are some of the support lines that we have, right? We have the crisis text line, which is 24/7. You can text LA to the number that's on the screen. We also have the National Domestic Violence Hotline, which is also 24/7. A lot of us know about the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, but these are just teen lines and the Trevor Lifeline that calls like places that you can call for support, or if you just need someone to listen to you, right?
All right, my friends.
And now we are on vacation mode. Ooh, it's okay.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
If you'd like to include an announcement for your team, club, or organization, please submit them to bit.ly/Toreador News form.
That's about it for now, Taft. There is no school on Monday, May 27th, in observance of Memorial Day. This day is a national holiday that honors the brave men and women who have died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. We encourage everyone to take this day to remember and pay tribute to the sacrifices made by our military and to spend time with family and friends. Please remember to
keep Taft clean, green, safe, and serene. Bye, Taft!